Hello there everybody, and welcome to today's video. And with an all-new season of Formula 1 well and truly on its way to us, it wouldn't be a new season without me making predictions that will probably age absolutely terribly. However, I got a few of my predictions last season spot on. I called Carlos Sainz to match or beat Leclerc. That happened. I can't remember my other predictions. I think I predicted George Russell to be a regular contender for points. It sort of happened in the mid-season before he trailed off towards the end of the season. But, you know, a handful of them came true, so they weren't all bad. But here's another list of predictions that I think could age terribly or could just be a stroke of genius. Who knows? And my first prediction, let's just go in for the big one, the world champion. For me, I think it's going to be one of the Ferrari drivers. I'm not sure which one. The car looked pretty nifty in testing. And yes, I know a lot of you are going to come at me and be like, well, Joe, you clearly know nothing. It's only testing. Duh. And you would be right. But if Ferrari have brought the car this season that can challenge for the championship, they have very much got two drivers that, in my opinion, are very much worthy of challenging for the championship. On the one hand, you've got the charger, the pace of Charles Leclerc. And on the other, you've got the racecraft and the consistency of Carlos Sainz. So therefore, two drivers that are very much capable of challenging for the championship. If Leclerc gets his consistency in check, which has been a little bit of an issue for him, I feel that he really could mount a very strong challenge. And if Carlos keeps the consistency that he has, again, he could mount a challenge for it. So, based on that, if Ferrari deliver the car, I think it'll be one of the Ferrari drivers. I'm not going to say which one because I honestly couldn't tell you. I think as a team unit, Ferrari have the two drivers that are the most evenly matched. So, it could be any one of those two, I feel. I would lean more towards Leclerc for the pace side of things if he does get the consistency in check, because honestly, some of the drives he's put in have been absolutely phenomenal. Right, let's get my title predictions for F2 and F3 out the way as well. For F2, I think it's going to be a three-way fight between Yuri Vips, Théo Pourchaire, and I feel like Dennis Hauger could really get himself in the mix as well. We really saw him come good in F3 last season. And speaking of F3, Victor Martins, Arthur Leclerc, or Zane Maloney. They're the three I'm backing in F3. Right, second prediction of the season. And that is, and this kind of ties in with the first one, but it also doesn't. And that is former McLaren teammates Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris to both take their first victories this season. It's coming. It's very much coming. You know, you saw Carlos Sainz on the podium 4 times last season, including a second place finish at Monaco. Lando Norris got a few podiums as well, very nearly winning the Russian Grand Prix last season, and if it wasn't for a bad pit stop decision, probably would have. I feel like for both those drivers, that win is coming. And I think it's going to happen this season. And, I mean, I don't know where the McLaren is in comparison to everybody else. Again, we haven't even had the second test yet. But I just have this feeling that both those drivers will take their first win. With Lando Norris starting his 4th season in Formula 1, I just feel like this is the one he'll get a win. And speaking of wins, there is one driver that I am predicting to return to the top step of the podium this season. And this is my third prediction. Sebastian Vettel will win a race. Now, he didn't really get too many points finishes last season in the Aston Martin. But that's because the Aston Martin, and I'm not even putting this lightly, last season it was a disappointment. I feel like it was one of the biggest disappointments of the season. You know, with all that investment, the brand change, I was kind of expecting them to be sort of where they were in 2020 as Racing Point, you know, battling for third in the Constructors. It didn't transpire that way. But this season, I don't know, I feel like they could do better. And if we get one of those absolutely crazy races, you know, think Hockenheim 2019, think Nürburgring 1999, we get one of those crazy races, Sebastian Vettel will be there, and I think he will take the win with that. He's one of the better drivers at picking up the scraps when they're available to him. And I feel like if a win was available to him, we would see the Seb of old just run in there and take it. So that's my third prediction. Fourth, I don't think Red Bull are going to be right at the very front of the pack this year. And I'll tell you why. They put so much in to last season. They put pretty much everything into last season, into getting Max the Drivers' World Championship. And it does make me question, how many resources have they put into this season? Did they put enough in, or is there some attention to detail that they might have missed out on? I don't know, but maybe this season, it just isn't Red Bull's season. I'm not saying they're going to fall to the middle or the back, but I'm saying they'll probably be something like second or third in the running order, back to where they were, say, between 2016 to 2020. That kind of era. So that's my fourth prediction. Next up, I think this is the year that Mick Schumacher will get his first points in F1. Let's not sugarcoat this. It was a very much anonymous rookie season for Mick, but there were some signs of brilliance, including getting the Haas into Q2. And let's be fair, that car was a pile of dog shit. So the fact that he got that car into Q2 is astounding. And I am very much in awe of the fact that he was doing that and regularly fighting Nicholas Latifi for position on a regular basis. So it's clear that Mick has got the pace. And I think if Haas haven't let us down in the biggest possible way by throwing everything into this year and still remaining at the back, I feel like they could make the climb forwards. And I think this could be the season where Mick gets his first point. I'm not saying that Haas are going to be fighting for anything high in the mid-pack, but I think Haas will have moved forwards enough to be at the back of the midfield. Next up, Williams to be regular point scorers this year. Now, a lot of people are going to look at that and think, Joe, what the hell? But hear me out here. Alex Albon is no slow driver, okay? He was a victim of the fact that Red Bull very much set their car up for one driver and one driver only. And who knows, maybe the timeout has done him good. But Williams gained a nice bit of momentum last season and in a handful of races managed to get in the points. This year, I don't think will be any different. I think we will see Williams regularly challenging for points. And if we get a mad race, I could very much see Alex Albon finishing, maybe grabbing a P5 or a P6. I mean, let's be real. Who predicted George Russell to get a podium last year? That's right, nobody. So who's to say Alex Albon can't grab a P5 or a P6 out of a crazy race? Because believe me, he definitely has that potential. And hey, Nicholas Latifi isn't exactly the worst driver either. He is the true GOAT of F1, okay? He is the king. He is King Latifi. Next prediction. Oscar Piastri will make his F1 debut in the middle of this season. Now, this is a bold one, I know. And I know that unless something befalls Fernando Alonso or Esteban Ocon, it probably won't happen. But it could happen. Stranger things have happened. We had Lewis Hamilton miss a race because of COVID and George Russell stepped into the Mercedes. So who's to say, I don't know, Oscar Piastri couldn't make his debut this season? I feel like at some point in the mid-season, there is a chance he could make his debut. But again, it would take a lot of dominoes to fall, and it is a bold prediction. But it's still something I'm calling to happen this season. And my final prediction. I think in the first half of the season, Lewis Hamilton is going to outperform George Russell. But in the second half of the season, George is going to get up to speed and he's going to outperform Lewis. George Russell has got such a unique opportunity this year because he gets to watch and learn from a driver that is considered the very best of Formula One and the greatest of all time. So it's a great opportunity for George as his teammate to learn from Lewis. But aside from that, who's to say by the second half of the season he couldn't outperform Lewis? In one race in Bahrain, in a car that he wasn't familiar with, wasn't set up for him, he had boots that were too small for him, he still comfortably, in my mind, outperformed Bottas for most of the weekend. So who's to say that when he gets up to speed in Mercedes, he couldn't challenge Lewis, he couldn't beat Lewis? I think that's how it's going to go. But I think for the first half of the season, Lewis will have the edge. But then when George gets up to speed, well, it's going to take some stopping. Anyway, those are my predictions for this season. Have I missed anything? Is there anything you think that could happen this season? Drop your comments in the box below. Also drop your comments if you think I'm talking a load of shit. But yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, hit the subscribe button if you're new here and you want to see more content from me. Again, don't take these predictions to heart. Don't take them as gospel. Don't be like, well, this guy clearly knows nothing. You know, these are just my personal predictions. It's my personal opinion. The best thing about an opinion is that we're all allowed one. We're all allowed our predictions. And if it ages terribly, then, well, it ages terribly. Pretty much like me, because I'm looking very old today. Anyway, thank you for watching. Take care. TTFN, guys. Ta-ta for now.